Hey, a very good Sunday evening to you guys. Hope you've had a good day out there today. And as I promised, we'll start doing a little bit of some evening forecast in the form of some videos in the morning. Still do the blog and the emails and all that sort of thing. But in the afternoons and evenings, something I've always wanted to do, weather in a Hawaiian shirt on a daily basis, old ball cap, or we're going to call it a happy hour weather. That sound good to you? So let's talk about what we've got going on. As we get into the night tonight, clouds will be coming in. We've got some snow on the way. It'll take a little while to happen, though. Temperatures actually around the state are pretty uniform. We're talking about low 30s up in the Adirondacks, but only up to the upper 30s to around 40 as you head a little farther down the Hudson Valley. So really, again, not a lot of cold air in sight. Always makes you nervous as a forecaster to see temperatures like this at 6 o'clock with snow on the way. But here's kind of the skinny with all that. Clouds have yet to get here. We've got some high clouds that are starting to stream in, but they're going to take their time in getting here. And the sun is going to set in about an hour. See that? Kind of coming in from the west, or from the east, I should say. That is our sunset in essence. So once the sun goes down, temperatures are going to drop off quite a bit. Now, once these thicker clouds get here, everything will level off, and we're not going to drop off too much. Not as cold as it was out there this morning, but certainly cold enough to support some snow as we get into the day tomorrow. Now, the National Weather Service has winter storm warnings in effect for the Catskills as well as the Berkshires and the Greens. But there's quite a difference in when these products start. They're called products. That's kind of a government term. And when these products start, they have different times. So this winter storm warning actually starts at 6 a.m. tomorrow, while over into western New England, the winter storm warning doesn't get kicking until 2 p.m. So that's an 8-hour difference. The reason for that, we have quite a bit of dry air in place, which also kind of complicates the forecast a little bit, but I'm not going to bore you with all of that. The bottom line is that we're going to get some snow that'll make its way into areas west of the Hudson Valley, and it'll start to fall there. That's where the highest totals, I think, will be out of this event, just because the Catskills will kind of get a jump on everybody else. But it's going to take some time before we start to see a little bit of rain in the valleys and then some snow making their way into the higher elevations in eastern New York and then over into western New England. I think that we will go down to snow as we head deeper into tomorrow afternoon and evening, probably not even until later on, especially as you head into the immediate capital district, because by then our storm will get going here off of the mid-Atlantic, and it'll scoot out a good track for us. And the timing of it will be such that that's when the heaviest precip will fall. And in doing so, we'll go over to snow in the Hudson Valley as we head to right around this time, I suppose, or so tomorrow night. Now, the Adirondacks will do fairly well with this too, generally like 2 to 5 inches up there. So the purple is a winter weather advisory. The warnings is where some of the higher snowfalls will be measured. And as you look here on this map, this is a model forecast. It's actually a bunch of models kind of laid over the top of each other, and it's pointing or painting the highest totals into the southern greens and into extreme northern Massachusetts there, but largely into the southern greens, these darker greens and lighter greens indicating anywhere from about 6 to 12 inches. Now, this is based on a 10-to-1 ratio. This is going to be a heavier wet snow, so good for for not snowmobiling, but for snowball fights and making snowmen and things like that. So it'll be good for that. Plowing and shoveling, not so much. The snow is going to be pretty heavy, so it'll be more difficult for the plows to push it, and certainly a little bit more difficult for the snow to be shoveled, just because it'll be that heavy. But tomorrow morning, I'll have a full update for you. I'll have a map that'll be zoomed in our area. You've seen those before, and it'll kind of outline who will get what. But in the meantime, again, that's it. I hope you enjoyed your first weather forecast. Certainly not your last. Again, hang in there, folks. We'll get through this. We'll have happy hour forecasts every evening, or even later in the afternoon, depending on what the weather is going to do. And we'll go it from there. So I hope everybody has a great night. I'll catch you in the morning.